Hello, I'm Brian Mckeon, partner at the JMB FLP. And today we'll be reviewing the following CNBC shows: Fast Money, Mad Money, and Options Action for the week of February the 16th to the February 20th, 2009. Now, what we merely do is review the following shows: Fast Money, Mad Money, and Options Action, and only look at the upside plays from these shows. And opinions may vary from show to show. Now, what we merely do is get an average analyst ranking from these three websites. And I'd like to remind you that all analyst recommendations are as of February the 20th, 2009. Now, we move on to Fast Money's very own Guy Adami. While his upside plays for the week, we have Johnson & Johnson, Celgene, and Walmart make it into the buy camp this week. Next, we move on to Karen Finerman. Of all of her upside plays for the week, Nike was the only one to make it into the buy camp this week. Of course, you can see all of her upside plays this week that made it into the hold camp, and all of her upside plays that make it into the sell camp as well. And as for John Najarian, none of his plays made it into the buy camp this week. As for his brother Pete, we had Gold, Exxon, Apple, Genzyme, J&J, Celgene, DNA, MDT, and Teva make it into the buy camp this week. As for Tim Seymour, he had DBB, DBP, Gold, Philip Morris, Sohu, Exxon, and Walmart make it into the buy camp this week. As for Joe Terranova, he had Gold, IBM, and Walmart make it into the buy camp this week. There were also some special guests on Fast Money this week. We had Joe Dern. He had Apple and Mo make it into the buy camp this week. As for Dan Fitzpatrick, only one of his stocks made it into the buy camp this week, and that was RIG. Of course, that view was also shared by Doug Cass. He had RIG as well. Of course, Deborah, she only had one stock, and that was Walmart, and that made it into the buy camp. Next, we move on to the show Fast Money. Now, as of all of Kramer's upside plays for the week, these are the ones that made it into the buy camp. We have RIG, Gold, TSYS, BCR, GIST, IBM, Abbott, Bax, BDX, CPRT, KMP, Pepsi, Verizon, and Walmart. All of those rate a buy at this time. Of course, while Kramer's upside plays, these are the ones that made it into the hold camp this week by our analysts. Of course, here is all of Kramer's upside plays that rank in the sell camp this week. Now on to the show Options Action. All of Stacy Gilbert's upside plays this week, we have Gold and Johnson & Johnson's that made it into the buy camp this week. Of course, Jim, he also had Gold as well. Mike, none of his plays made it into the buy camp this week. Of course, Joe came in with IBM to make it into the buy camp this week. So, in review, all the upside plays for the weeks in these shows: Gold, Philip Morris, TSYS, Sohu, BCR, GIST, IBM, Exxon, Abbott, Apple, Bax, BDX, Genzyme, J&J, Nike, Celgene, CPRT, DNA, KMP, MDT, Mo, Pepsi, Teva, Verizon, and Walmart all rate a moderate buy this week. As for the strong buys this week, we have DBB, DBP, and RIG. Those would rate a strong buy this week by our analysts. Of course, I'd like to remind you that all analyst recommendations are as of February the 20th, 2009. And I am not a licensed investment advisor, and the investments I am showing you today are what I'm doing for my family and friends' accounts. Also, I am not affiliated with CNBC or any of its affiliates, or any of the websites used to determine these rankings. Also, I currently own shares of General Mills, IBM, and Morgan Stanley. So again, this is Brian Mckeon from the JMB FLP saying thank you and see you next time.